Hi everybody, it's Sharon with little Sharon, my Huxley, my portrait baby. Um, it's been 7 months since I've made a reborn doll video, since before my husband passed away. And I have a story to tell, and I hope you all will stick around and listen to my story because I don't have it scripted. Don't know what I'm going to say or where I'm going with it, but I'm going to attempt to give a chat to you guys about things that have been going on. So bear with me, I'm a little rusty. 7 months is a long time. And this little girl has a story to tell. And I'm going to hop on the bed and get close so that I can talk to you about her and what's been happening with her in particular. She was just in a drawer with all my other babies, and I had this idea in my head that I might be able to part with her. And I remembered one of my faithful, wonderful, sweet followers. I'm not going to mention any names. I don't know if she wants her name mentioned, so I won't. She told me at one time that if I ever wanted to sell little Sharon, to please consider her. So I offered little Sharon to her, and I gave her a price, and she was interested. So during that time, I got her out, and I looked at her, and I decided I wanted to put new eyelashes on her because I wanted them to both kind of curl up over her eyelid rather than down over her eyeball. And so that took a long time. Anybody out there who's a reborn artist can know that sometimes applied eyelashes can give you a little bit of a struggle. Because the little thin line that they're attached to is a little bit, it's flexible, but it kind of can stick up on one end. So if you get one end to lay down, they have a little bit of pre-glue on them. If you get one end to lay down, the other end will pop up, and it's difficult. And sometimes you have to clip them in order to fit the particular eye. So I had to do that. And then when you're done and you're happy, you use some gem tack glue. That's what I use, gem tack, to glue them in place. And then you have to remove the excessive glue from the eyeball, which I have these pointed edged kind of Q-tips that are kind of spongy. And I use alcohol. You have to be careful because alcohol will remove paint, so you have to just stick to the eyeball, and you don't want to get any alcohol on the eyelash so that it'll loosen the glue. So that took me quite a while to do. And then she didn't have a magnetic passy, and I didn't want this person to be disappointed, so I took her head off, I put a magnet behind her mouth, a big heavy one, and I remembered trying to use those before, and they're heavy, so they're hard to stay. So I had the passy on her mouth to hold the magnet behind it in place, and had her head tilted downwards so that the magnet would be glued in place beforehand, and it worked out. I didn't bring the passy to show you, but anyway, then I looked at her and I decided there was a couple of shiny spots on her, one on her knee, on her right knee, and one or two on the back of her head. So I went ahead and varnished those spots. And in the meantime, my friend told me that she wanted little Sharon to wear this particular sleeper, which she saw in one of her videos, with this particular headband, so I have her in that. And anyway, while I had her undone, I realized that I wanted to reweight her because she's a bigger baby, and I wanted her to have the ability to sit up and hold her head up on her own. I don't know if you're seeing that. Let me get up and see if you're able to see that. Yeah. So that took 4 separate tries to get it right. So I had to use 4 different cable ties, snip the cable tie, reattach her head, and do it many times. Because I don't know if any of you know, if you're reborn doll artists, that every kit is different and every kit has its challenges. Not only does the kit have its challenges, but the cloth body has its own set of challenges. And little Sharon, I'm going to show you her challenge. She has a prominent upper back. Yeah, and if you don't have the stuffing right and the weighting bag right, it makes her look like she has a hunchback. And you want to have the weight up in the upper body with the baby that you want to sit up. So that was a challenge. I had to redo it and redo it and redo it. And anyway, now she's still got a little bit of flop to her head, but she's got more stuffing in her body. So she's not quite as floppy to hold. She's a little bit more firm. So I don't know. But anyway, in the meantime, I got a message from my friend who was going to be her new mommy, and she said to me, Sharon, I just don't feel right. Every time I would hold little Sharon, I would think that it would be you that needs to hold her. So you really need to keep her. And it's not that I don't want her, but I just feel she's better suited in your arms than in my arms, especially since she's my portrait baby. And I'm thankful that she said that, because she's right. And just doing that little bit of work on her took me all day. It took me all day. I was running from room to room to get the rubbing alcohol, to get Q-tips, and to get the toothpicks, and to do this and that, and get the weighting material and the cable ties, and just trying to get these eyelashes just right. And yeah, it took me all day. And she weighs a good 7 pounds or more. And by the end of the day, I was in a lot of pain. I don't know if you guys have any arthritis in your body, but I do. And oh my goodness, now I know why I say I don't think I can do this anymore. It's just too much. It's just way too much. I've got arthritis in my fingers, my neck, my back, my shoulders, my knees, yeah. So I have to, although I don't like to say it, I don't think I'll be making any more reborns from scratch. I say that now, but you know what happens when you go a while and you forget. You forget what it's going to do to your body. And so, since I'm not going to be making more reborns, or so I think at this moment, I should keep all the ones that I currently have. Yeah. So, that's the story of little Sharon. I still have Mavis, my Kira kit. I still have Ella, my first reborn from 14 years ago. I still have Laura, which was the last reborn that I reborned. I have Vincent, which I adopted from Anne from Dolls in the Cradle. And I have a replica Maddie that I found in Goodwill. So I've still got all those babies as well. So I've got plenty. If anyone is possibly thinking about experimenting to see what a replica Maddie looks like. I have a full body replica Maddie, full body. She's a lot smaller than the original Maddie, but she's got rooted hair. She's beautiful, and I might do a video with her, and maybe someone will be interested. You'll get a really great price with a nice box opening, because that's how we like to roll around here. But anyway, so that's the reborn story right now. Let me take her mitts off so you can see her cute little hands. Since she's in a drawer, I wanted to protect her, so I covered everything, and I covered her with this blanket. So I've been so tied up and caught up with things since my husband passed away, in getting reoriented, getting myself to be sane, getting myself to be able to cope with life, running the entire household by myself, which is quite a strain, quite a lot. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,825 square foot home. It's a lot. It's a lot for me. Grocery shopping, putting the groceries away, making the meal, cooking for me and for my dog, and feeding George, and cleaning George's bird cage, and putting out the garbage and the recycling once a week, and paying the bills, and making sure that the checkbook looks good, and hiring contractors. And in fact, today I had a plumber here because I thought I had 2 tiny little problems. Turned out to be a huge, expensive problem. So you have to prepare for that. I have a lot of wonderful friends that have been helping me get through this time. I'm feeling a little more comfortable. I'm following Kyle Apple, and he lost his wife, Jenny, the same time that I lost my husband, and his grief share journey is very similar to mine. The last story he told, I was like, oh my goodness, I can relate to that, and I didn't know anyone else would feel like that. And what that was he was afraid to go into the master bedroom. And I was afraid to go into the master bedroom, although I did. I like to sleep there because it's a king-size bed, and Bentley sleeps with me, and he takes a lot of room, and it's a comfortable bed. So I would go in there and quickly get into bed and not look around, because that's where I found Jan, completely unresponsive after his stroke, on the bed. And he felt the same way, and he got some advice to change something around in the bedroom to make it seem a little different. So I did. I didn't rearrange the furniture because it's too heavy for me to do that. So I changed the valances, the color of the valances, and I turned the bedspread over because it's reversible. So now my bedroom, rather than being red, is blue. And it helps personalize the bedroom to me, and it helped. It helped a lot. And I'm trying to live my life and find out who single Sharon really is, because it's been 33 years with Jan. So anyone who is on a grief journey knows that everybody does grief differently, and there's no formula to follow. And I still have what they call, what's the word? An ambush. An ambush is a thought that just hits you because you see something, you hear something, you smell something, and it takes you into a crying fit out of the blue, unexpected. That's called an ambush. So I experienced an ambush recently just because I went out into the garage and I see a lot of the power tools and a lot of the things that Jan used to spend time with in the garage, and I got ambushed by that. And yeah, so every now and then an ambush will come around the corner out of nowhere and grab me and put me right back to square one again, bawling and crying and sobbing and having a hard time. So, but for the most part, I'm getting more stable. I'm getting more used to living alone, although I don't really necessarily always like it, but a lot of times I do, especially when I'm not feeling well. I like being alone and not having anyone to disappoint that I can't do anything or go out to lunch or whatever. And I remember when I wouldn't feel well, Jan would always go out and pick up lunch and bring it home for us. And I always felt bad because he would often have to go to home group by himself or church by himself if I wasn't well. And so now I feel like I don't have anyone to disappoint, which is a good feeling. And if I don't feel like making dinner, I can have a bowl of cereal for dinner. That kind of thing. That's the good part about being alone. The bad part is it's very lonely and it's a lot of work for one person to handle. Bentley still really misses his dad. He was more his dog than mine, and yeah, I still see Bentley doing things once in a while that make me think he's still thinking about Daddy. So I'm doing okay, guys. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I found a church. I've been going. I have some friends in the new church, which I enjoy. And I have a friend from 1993 that used to hang out at my bookstore that has been talking to me. And we've been chatting for hours every night. And so I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. Yeah, so that's it, guys. That's the story, and I'm going to think about what I'm going to do for dinner and call it a night. I've been watching a whole lot of YouTube, following people that have advice about how to handle vestibular migraine, healthy eating, healthy lifestyles, coping with grief, being an older woman living alone. I'm following a whole bunch of people and still watching some reborn videos, still following some of you, and I'm grateful for you. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I want to also say that I have obtained a lot of new subscribers despite the fact that I haven't been on for 7 months, which is really nice. It's really nice. People are finding my channel and they're subscribing, and I'm very grateful. So if you're new, thank you. Thank you for joining. And I'm hoping that it's not going to take me 7 more months to do another video. So I'm getting more motivated to get back into this hobby, and we'll see how it goes and see where it goes. Thank you all so much, and God bless, and have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.